and stuff like that. So keep in mind, just add me, and or I'll try and find you as well. So
Meeting streaming live right now, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shallum Xavier. Most of you know me from the band Fusion. Right now, I'm here trying to introduce a topic which is called sort of encouraging the upcoming artist, career development and opportunities for the people who are in the music industry, both in Pakistan and in Bangladesh. This is coming to you live with the help and support of British Council, Transforming Narratives, and the Arts Council of Birmingham, England. We have a wonderful panel. Once again, this is the conclusion of the last 3 workshops and creative discussions. So I'm really looking forward to the conclusion. But let me tell you, this is not only a conclusion, this is the beginning of a new era, a new relationship between Pakistan and Bangladesh. We have found some most amazing people, very friendly people, talented individuals. Let me just introduce the panel that we have with me right now today. We have Mr. Anselm Fernandes from Karachi, Pakistan, who's an inspiring singer, who right now just told me that he is looking forward to singing in the Western mindset, and his influences come from the Western background. We have Nida Hussain from Karachi, originally from New York. She is an actress, an upcoming singer. And we have from Dhaka, Bangladesh, Mr. Labik Kamal, who is going to introduce his panel. And let's take you to Labik Kamal. Take it from here, man.
Thank you, Shallum. Yes, before I get into introducing the wonderful set of musicians that I have, I'd like to sing 2 lines for you, for Shallum Xavier, on the experience of the last 3 weeks that we had. It's been a wonderful experience. And, you know, we've done a few workshops, few talks, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for me to learn, and the wonderful track that you've arranged. You know, we're trying our best to send everything by tomorrow, and everything. It's been a great experience, and I hope that this is not the end. And as you said, we're hoping that this is a start to a new journey. So you know, I've been sort of focusing on, even though I sing different kinds of songs, I've been sort of focusing on Lalon Fakir songs throughout this presentation. So I want to sing a couple of lines dedicated to Mr. Shallum Xavier, who I am a big fan of.
Wow, well, thank you.
And I'll try and explain. Just 2 lines. Guru Go, Guru Go, Guru Go, Helai helai din boye ja, ঘিরে নিল কালে, ঘিরে নিল কালে, আর কি হবে এমনও জনম, আমি বসবো সাধুর মেলে, আমি বসবো সাধুর মেলে। So the Quran is on the right, the Ved and the Puran is on the left, and Fakir Lalon's speech, or what he has to say, is in the middle. So the Islam is on the right and Hinduism is on the left, and what he believes and his philosophy is in the middle. So Baolism is a combination of Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam, and Vaishnav and other cultures. So what Chadu is saying here is helai helai din boye jai ghire nilo kale. We waste a lot of time in different things, and the darkness sometimes come. But here we are. Ar ki hobe manob jonom. Will I be ever born again to get this accompany, to get these people in my life again? So all these sadhus that I have met online through you. So this is a respect to all my brothers, all my musician friends, and I pray to God that we have another opportunity someday, whether on the screen, whether on a record, or wherever God wishes, we have an opportunity to get together. So I would like to thank you, Shallum, for having me, considering me to be part of this project. And this is the last talk. That's why I wanted to sing this for you. Now I would go on to introduce two fantastic musicians that I have on my panel. So here is Alif Alauddin, and it's difficult actually to introduce her because she has so many different identities. So firstly, she's a fantastic singer, and she sings pop rock and different genres as well. So that's her. She has been solely responsible for making a music show in Bangladesh successful and vibrant. Alif, can you please just remind me the number of shows you've done on Music Buzz?
Oh, I think we've crossed 800 episodes.
So, wow. So we're already through 800 episodes, and this is
it's been running for 8 years. Yeah,
only music show in Bangladesh that sort of has gone on for such a long. This is not the only shows that she has done, but she's done some other Kolergan and other stuff before. I'm sorry, Alif, I don't remember all the names, but
it's okay.
Plenty of shows, and this is so two identities have been sort of served. She's daughter to one of the most famous music directors in Bangladesh, who's a legend and a legendary singer. Of course, above all, she's a friend, she's a well-wisher, and she helps us promote our videos, our music, other things all through. She's been so supportive through all our careers. I'd like to welcome you, Alif. We're so happy and glad that you could be a part of this collaboration, and we welcome you to say a few words. And, if you want to sing a line or two, a musician identifies themselves much better with some notes rather than words. Of course, we would want to hear you first.
Hi, I'm Alif Alauddin. Thank you so much. Labik is a friend, so he has been saying very nice things about me. Thank you so much. It's really an honor to be in such a panel because I see all of you, and it always feels, it always warms my heart whenever there is, musicians involved from different parts of the world. So even if we don't connect in language, there's one place where we connect, and that is music. So I do pop rock. I sing solo. I have 3 albums out, and I also have a band called Pentagon. And I've been a member of the band for almost 20 years now. And so I started pretty young as a singer. Well, that's about it. And I'm married to a rock star. That's what I can say. He plays the guitar for one of the most popular bands in the country. It's called Axel. You can find their music, I think, online. It's available everywhere. So yeah, that's about me. And I'm very lucky that I come from a very big musical family. And really, I think I'm very lucky. So the kind of music that I do does differ from my parents because they used to be more into Eastern music, classical music. In Bangla, we say Nozrul Giti. My mother was a Nozrul Giti singer. And my father was more into Adhunik Gan, that's what we say, contemporary music. But me, I'm more into pop rock. So maybe I'll sing just a little bit of my own song.
Sure.
My husband is there who's going to help me out with the chords. I don't know if you can hear him, but maybe just a few lines. Dating?
Alif,
yeah.
Alif, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
If it's okay with Faisal Bhai, we'd like him on screen and not play from behind. So if he can sit beside you, we'd be honored.
Is it okay?
If he doesn't mind. I know he's a shy person, so we know he's a shy person.
You want to come and sit? Labik is inviting you. Okay, just come and say hi. Okay, he's a little shy today. It's okay.
He's always been shy. He's a shy rock star. The two words don't go together, but he's a fantastic musician. Anyway, Ali, please carry on.
So just gonna sing a little bit. Whoa, 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 whoa. কিছু লাগছে আমার কাছে সুন্দর দেখা হবে তোমার সাথে আজ এই বিকেলে তাই বুঝি মনটায় আজ মেঘেছে খুশির জোয়ারে ঘড়ি কাটা সময়টা যেন থেমে আছে নিমেষে আজ যেন সবকিছু লাগছে আমার কাছে সুন্দর দেখা হবে তোমার সাথে আজ এই বিকেলে Yeah, that's about it.
Thank you. Nice, so nice.
Thank you.
That was fantastic, Alif.
Thank you.
If I may move on to my next guest, a guest who is here is Akash Gayen. So Akash is a very soulful singer. He's an upcoming young star from Bangladesh. He sings traditional Baul music, but plays also some contemporary instruments. He has a band called Gankobi, and I consider as my younger brother, but I'm a fan of his voice. And I've been doing some small works with his sort of mentoring his band Gankobi, and I am very glad that he could be on this platform with us. Akash, please, welcome here, and please go on, introduce yourself.
Okay. Hello, all the artists here. I'm Akash Gayen, and I'm from the band Gankobi, Bangladeshi folk band, and we this is Labik Kamal said that I can play some contemporary instruments, and I sing just folk songs, Bangla folk songs, Bengali folk songs. So introducing just I am a music lover. It's just my first priority. And I love Rabindranath, I love Bob Dylan, I love Kavi Suman, and I love also Amir Khosru, Hazrat Amir Khosru, and I love to read Allama Iqbal. And I have before few days, I have a good research in the area of Bhati Anchal,
The area of the river.
Bhati Anchal. Okay, area to rivers, and it has just mind-blowing experience. Bhati area contains 5 districts of Bangla and Bengal, and this area has an unique musical tradition. Gaurob and Alif Alauddin, you also know that.
Of course.
This area is surrounded with river and howl. So in their songs, there are an amazing impact and influences of flowing water, boatmen. The lyrical poet of here use some metaphorical terms and write spiritual songs. So I can sing you, and I want to sing you a Bhati Ali song. And this was written by Shabdul Karim. Okay, thank you. Are kahashte naai re bella ওই আমার নৌকা হারাইল অকুলে মন মাঝি ভাই বাউরে নৌকা যাইও না গো পথ ভুলে মন মাঝি ভাই বাউরে নৌকা যাইও না গো পথ ভুলে মাঝি মাল্লাহ 16 জনা কেউ কারো কথা শুনে না যার তার ভাবে সকলে চলে ও তারা জল ভিজে নৌকা বায় না ওই আমার সময় গেল গোলমালে নৌকা যাইও না গো পদ ভুলে মন মাঝি ভাই বাউরে নৌকা যাইও না গো পদ ভুলে Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
I mean, Akash, are you on Wi-Fi or are you on 4G?
I am on Wi-Fi, Dada.
If you can shift to, if you have 4G, then try to shift on 4G because the line is lagging a bit. We could hear you sometimes, then we lost you sometimes. So if you do have the option, while we are continuing the talk, if you can go back and come back with the 4G, if possible. Otherwise, this is okay. Shallum, over to you.
Sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was absolutely brilliant to hear Alif's wonderful voice with her husband's guitar in the background. And also Akash, what a great feeling. So let's move forward and let me introduce my panel of upcoming singers and performers. Like I said, we have Nida Hussain, an upcoming singer, a wonderful actress. I recently met her. I've been in touch with her. We are also planning to, she's also planning to learn how to play guitars. So let's just move on to Nida. Let's hear about her journey. Why did she decide to come all the way to pursue her singing and acting career and landing in Karachi? So here you go, Nida. Please tell us about yourself. But when you conclude, we would like to hear your voice.
I'm actually just recovering from a seasonal flu, which is why I'm eating a cough drop. So excuse me. Basically, I'm a singer. I was a singer in New York for a few years, 4 or 5 years, doing private gigs and stuff like that there. And I got to work with some really cool people. I got to sing backup for Sukhwinder Singh, Bollywood singer. And I've also done a show with Vishal and Shaker and like opened for them. So it's been fun for me over there, but I really wanted to come back to Pakistan and explore the industry here and see how things are going. While I was in America, I started to do jingles and voiceovers for Pakistan. So I've done some of the major brands here and it's been really fun. So I wanted to come here and meet with, you know, incredible people that are working here for so many years, including Shallum himself. Like it's been such an honor to even have met him, let alone learn guitar from him, you know. So it's been fun. I'm just kind of taking it day by day and just seeing what's in store for me.
Why don't you sing something for us? And I have a question for you. It feels like, to me, and I might be wrong, because you have this background which has these dots and some. Are you lying down or are you sitting?
I'm sitting.
You could be lying down, which is great, which would be the most comfortable thing to do. But
no, I'm not lying down.
You're just lying down.
I have my phone leaning on my laptop because my Mac is not letting the Zoom thing work for some reason. So that's why I have this situation going on.
Okay, great. You know, for longest, I thought that she's so comfortable that she's lying down and doing this.
I think it's just that, but I'm sitting. I promise I'm sitting.
It's fine. You could be doing anything. No, I mean, why don't you sing something that you really like? It could be from your own material. It could be anything.
I can sing something for you that is it's a song that I made here. This was
for all of us.
Yeah, composed by Kashan Admani. So here I go. I mean, once again, I have this weird thing in my throat, so just excuse me. Okay, I'm gonna put my laptop down actually for this. I'll put it here. टूटे ख्वाब है तो क्या मंजिल दूर है तो क्या हुआ गुम है राज दे तो क्या है ये फासले तो क्या हुआ कोई साथ हो ना हो कोई पास हो ना हो दिल ये कह रहा जी लूं मैं जिंदगी को यूं जैसे हर दिन हो नया ख्वाबों की मंजिल हो ना हो मिलेगा रास्ता.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
Very nice.
I can understand with the irritation in your throat. It must have an effort, but thank you for sharing that wonderful voice that you have. And we on this panel and everybody who's listening to you wish you all the best for your career in the future. And I hope that you can sing more songs. And like we said, we will further discuss the background. I would also like to take this forward and introduce Mr. Anselm Fernandes, who is also an upcoming singer, and he will himself tell you about what he's doing and what he intends to do with his music career at present and in the future. Mr. Anselm.
Hello, everyone. This is Anselm from Karachi, Pakistan. I am a singer. I follow mostly the Western music back from the era of the 60s, 70s, 80s, and at present the current one as well. But more of which is of the 80s, the back era, like more of the old school. I have a band of my own that I perform with, and we go by the name of Old School Vibes. We actually the main reason behind the band's name is giving the people the old school vibes that were once a part of the yesteryears, and bring them back all into the current. The music that I actually am more towards is like I said, the Western music. I started off this journey with the singing, both from my with the help of the St. Patrick Senior Choir. That's when I actually started off. That's when I actually got my stage presence at the very first start for community events and all of that as such. And then later on, I moved a bit. I took it to a next level with a few of my fellow friends from the same music industry. And we said, let's take it to the next level and see how it goes. And by the grace of God, we work very well. We collaborate very well. And we play for various gigs that were private events, mostly towards community events as well. And yes, if you want me, I could sing something of the.
Your voice is gone. We can't hear you.
Sorry. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Yes.
It's all right.
So the song that the song that I will sing is the song is by Edwin McCain, more of a country background, the genre of music, and the song's name is I'll Be. So here it goes. The strands in your eyes, the color of them wonderful, stop me, steals my breath. Emeralds, mountains, cross towards the sky, never revealing their depth. So tell me that we belong together, rested up with the trappings of love. I'll be captivated, I'll hang from your lips instead of the gallows of heartache that hangs from above. I'll be your crying shoulder, I'll be love suicide, and I'll be better when I'm older. I'll be the greatest man of your life.
Thank you.
So that's
Thanks
a little bit of thank you so much.
Thank you for giving us your time. Let's take this forward a little bit. We have another upcoming singer from the city of Karachi. Her mic is mute. Her name is Lisa Kim Candarra. She is an upcoming singer and also a guitar player. So I will give this opportunity to her to tell us about herself. And if she can obviously sing towards the end of her introduction, we would be more than delighted to listen to her wonderful voice. So here you go, Lisa Kim Candarra.
Good evening, Sir Shallum. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to to attend Safar Suroon Ka. Well, actually, I started my career way back when I was 5 years old. So I started with PTV. There was a children program going on over there, so I started singing, taking part in that program. Then during school, we have a contest called Ubharte Sitare. So I got voice the day. Voice of the day, and then slowly gradually college came up, and then I started singing more and more and more. Then I got selected in I Am Karachi mentorship program. I got to learn more about it. Then I met you. Then I got to perform with you as a backing vocalist, fusion band, Coke Festival, I mean. And like this, all of my voice got more and more better as I sang more and more in schools and colleges and private programs. And this is my whole journey, and I'm still learning. And then I got an opportunity to learn guitar. You helped me with learning guitar, and this is my whole journey.
Wow, well, thank you so much. And I just hope that the fish in your tank is not real. Is that a real fish? It's quite scary.
No, it's not a real fish.
So,
no, sir.
Okay. So why
Yes,
don't you say
sir.
something to us with all that
Yes,
you can sing, please? Do you have your guitar on you?
Yes, sir. I have my guitar with me as well.
So since you're calling me sir, I'll call you ma'am. Ma'am, can you please play the guitar?
Yes, sir.
Be careful of the fish, huh? Looks very scary.
Yes, sir. Maybe it's out of tuning a little bit. भीगी सी एक रात ये ले आए क्या बात ये धड़कने जो हमें कहने लगी है खामोशी के दरमियाँ कब चाहे थी बात ये धड़कने जो हमें कहने लगी है ना कहो ना सुनो खामोशी गुफ्तगू होने लगी
Wow, thank you. Such a beautiful voice. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for sharing the fish in the fish tank, which looks really scary. I just hope it doesn't pop out and bite you.
No, sir, no, it's artificial.
Well, you never know. These days, everything is very strange. Maybe it becomes real.
Yes, sir.
So let's move forward. We have another extremely exciting and extremely diverse upcoming singer. I would like to introduce Katherine Gulzar. Katherine, if you can unmute your microphone, please unmute करें, थोड़ा अपने बारे में बताएं, अपने करियर के बारे में बताएं, और माइक को अगर आप अनम्यूट करेंगी तो आवाज आएगी, वरना तो फिर कुछ भी नहीं आएगा.
हेलो, अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम. बिल्कुल खैरियत से हैं, बिल्कुल खैरियत से हैं.
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है यहाँ आप सब में बैठ के. बहुत बहुत खुशी हो रही है सब आर्टिस्ट बैठे में. बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है.
आप बोलेंगी तो खड़े भी हो सकते हैं, कोई ऐसी बात नहीं है. थोड़ा सा अपने बारे में बताएं कि आपका करियर कहाँ से शुरुआत हुआ, इस वक्त आप क्या गा रही हैं, किस तरह की मौसीकी आपको पसंद है, और थोड़ा सा कुछ गुनगुना के भी सुनाएं प्लीज.
मुझे असल में बचपन से ही शौक था. मेरे जो पापा थे वो तबला नवाज थे, बहुत अच्छे, अभी भी हैं, लेकिन अभी बजाते नहीं हैं. तो बचपन से ही शौक था मुझे. म्यूजिक बचपन से ही करते आ रहे हैं. मतलब हमारे घर में से ही म्यूजिक है, घर में ही म्यूजिक है. भाई भी करते हैं, मैं भी करती हूँ, वालिद साहब भी करते हैं। तो इस वजह से मतलब बचपन से ही शौक था कि मतलब आगे बढ़ना चाहिए, म्यूजिक की फील्ड में आगे आना चाहिए। तो और प्रॉपर तालीम मैंने अपने उस्ताद जी से ली है, जिनका नाम है तनवीर अहमद। अभी भी जी कराना घराना से मैं ताल्लुक रखती हूँ, तो मैं अभी उनसे तालीम हासिल कर रही हूँ। और खुदा ने चाहा तो मतलब कोशिश तो यही है कि मतलब आगे से आगे बढ़ा जाए।
वेरी गुड।
और
कुछ सुनाएंगी कैथरीन हमें कुछ अपनी खूबसूरत आवाज में, कोई भी अपना मनपसंद गीत, गजल, ठुमरी?
मैडम नूरजहां की एक बहुत खूबसूरत गजल है, ये आपकी नजर करती हूँ।
नजर, मेरी नजर? अच्छा जी, शुक्रिया।
मैं तेरे संग कैसी चलूं सजना, तू समंदर है मैं साहिलों की हवा। मैं तेरे संग कैसे चलूं सजना, तू समंदर है मैं साहिलों की हवा। मैं तेरे संग कैसे, तू मेरा हाथ हाथों में लेके चले, मेहरबानी तेरी, तेरी आहट से दिल का दरीचा खुले। मैं दीवानी तेरी, मैं दीवानी तेरी, तू गुबारे सफर, मैं फिजा की सदा, तू समंदर है मैं साहिलों की हवा। मैं तेरे संग कैसे चलूं सजना, तू समंदर है मैं साहिलों की हवा। मैं तेरे संग कैसे, तू बहारों की खुशबू भरी शाम है, मैं सितारा तेरा, जिंदगी की अमानत तेरा नाम है। तू सहारा मेरा, तू सहारा मेरा, मैंने सारी खुदाई में तुझको चुना। तू समंदर है मैं साहिलों की हवा। मैं तेरे संग कैसे चलूं सजना, तू समंदर है मैं साहिलों की हवा। मैं तेरे संग कैसे।
Wow, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Very nice, very nice. So, Labik, do you want me to translate what she said, or is it good enough for Alif and you to understand what she spoke about? Microphone, microphone.
I think a little bit of explanation would be helpful.
So, she was mentioning about her career, that she's been singing since she was a child because she comes from a family of musicians.
Yes,
Her father, yeah, her brother are still very active in terms of singing as professionals, and that's why she decided to further pursue her career. And she is on, according to her, dedicated and devoted to this wonderful cause, as you can hear from the exceptional vocals that she has. And then she sang this wonderful song by a legend from Pakistan, Madam Noorjahan.
And I wanted to ask her, you know, when she turned the microphone on, we could hear some percussions. Was it from her background that we were hearing some, I think, classical music that we're
Yes,
hearing?
because she is actually about to go on stage. She is sitting in the changing room. Yeah, she is actually sitting in the changing room, about to go on stage for a performance, which is great to hear, by the way. Performances have started happening
Finally
again.
happening, yeah, finally happening.
Finally happening. And so this is the story. Let's just take this a little forward. I mean, to be very honest, I would just like it to continue the way it is, where people are just expressing themselves musically and singing, because that's what this is all about. But since we have a topic, and since it's written on that thing, let's just take it forward, and maybe we can add some musicality to it. And I would like you to take this forward. And while I was listening to Alif's conversation, she mentioned that she's been doing it for 20 years now, and her husband is a rock star. And since we're talking about career development and learning, would you be kind enough to share some experiences with our aspiring artists from Karachi and obviously from Bangladesh, and whoever is tuned in right now and watching us? What advice can you provide in terms of generating, let's say, opportunities? Because be it here or the West, most of the times you have to create opportunities for yourself, if I'm not mistaken. And how do you do that? And how do you keep sort of motivating yourself over and over again for over 2 decades and still keep doing it? What's that magic, what can I say? What's that magic thing that you have in your mind? How did you end up doing this, and how have you reached so far? So words of wisdom from you.
Basically, like I said, I come from one of the biggest musical families. So from my mother's side and my father's side, even my extended family members are musicians. So it's like, I had no other option, you know. So the moment I was born, I knew that I was going to sing. So music is instilled in me. And I think my husband, his name is Faisal. He's also the guitarist of my band. He plays for Artsel, and he also plays for my band, Pentagon.
Wow.
Okay.
We would like to now see his face, because now he's like, I'm getting really curious why he's not coming on the camera with you.
No, he's basically taking care of the daughter, because my daughter is a little sick. That's why he doesn't want to. So yeah.
Excuse me.
Yes, thank you. She has a performance. All the best. Yeah. So she's, wow, one of us has a performance. So please go for it.
Yes. That's great. Okay.
All right. So sorry
for the interruption.
Yeah, we are so sorry for the interruption.
No problem. Okay, so so I actually had no other option, you know. So I always wanted to do music, and that's why Faisal and I met in the band. He was the guitarist of my band. That's where we met, and that's where we kind of clicked. We are, you know, I think we have the same wavelength, because, you know, musicians have that wavelength. So I needed that, and he understood, and we got along really well, really quickly. So I think that was the biggest decision in my life, you know, to marry a musician, because you have to make the right decision to, if you want to continue music, and especially being a woman in a country like Bangladesh, or I don't know, I mean, in the subcontinent in general, it becomes very difficult if your family, I mean, your in-laws don't support your musical career. So I think that's the most important decision that you have to make if you really want to continue music. And my husband has been, in fact, he has been pushing me to do more music. So sometimes I don't feel like doing music. Sometimes I get lazy, but he's the one who's been, you know, giving me all the energy. You know, you need to do more music, and this and that. So I think that's one of those driving forces that made me who I am. I'm nobody, definitely. I really have a long way to go, but still, you know, all the experiences that I've gathered, I think I owe it to my family. And also the fact that I am able to do my own TV show, that has made me a better person. because I get to promote good music. And that's something that I've pledged, you know, I want to promote good music. There are so many musicians who knock me, who want to come to my show. But it's just that I want to promote the right kind of music. I want to give out the best kind of music, which needs promotion. You know, anything and everything gets viral now, but I just want to promote the good ones, which really, really need to be out there. So that's what I'm doing.
So according to you, your family and your husband had a major role to play in terms of motivating you, sort of
Definitely.
pushing you to keep doing what you actually dreamed of doing, right? And now you're doing it, which means that you were in a very happy place. So most of us don't get that support, right? Because most of us don't get to marry a musician because in my band, we don't have a girl. So we have guys. So marry a guy, at least not right now.
Yeah.
But you never know. So
yeah,
I mean,
it doesn't have to be from the band, from the same band.
It doesn't have
to
to
be from some other band, right?
But you are a lucky person like that.
I am.
So this is what I've gathered. So everybody in any profession needs a push. Everybody needs a certain kind of motivation coming from another human being. And some people are just born with a lot of desire and passion and ambition.
Yeah.
They might not need anyone, right?
Yeah, true.
And you also are doing your own music show, which is a big deal, which is production, coordination, dealing with a lot of people,
yes, yes,
and so on and so forth. It's like I know what it is.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I would also like Mr. Labik to share his experiences in terms of dealing with youngsters and people who want to pursue this as a career for the rest of their lives. What do they need to stress upon? What do they need to understand? What are the pitfalls? How do they need to go from one step to another? And also one more important factor that a lot of people don't realize, especially in the subcontinent, and I don't want to call it it's the global village right now. What are the kind of opportunities you need to look for as a singer and a musician coming into the music industry of the world?
Shallum, I think this has always been a burning question for all upcoming musicians, that what's the right way and what's the formula to get there. Someone X has made it, Y has made it, so how can I make it? And for me, if you ask me, I think my experience is similar to Alif. I started my musical career around 2000, and so it's nearly been 20 years that I've been in this sort of music, and whether as a vocalist, as an instrumentalist, as a music producer, or a sound engineer. One thing that I always sort of tell my friends, my younger brothers, is if you as a musician is 100%, I think talent plays only 20% for your success. Of course, that initial 20% needs to be there for that other 80% to kick in, for the hard work that is for me, and dedication and focus is 80%, and 20% is talent. So if God hasn't given you the ears to get the tuning right, that 80% will not work. Some people are tone deaf, so I'm that you cannot get by birth. You have a good pair of ears, so you can listen. This is in tune, this is not in tune. But once, if you the basic talent you need is to have your ears and your voice, or your instrumentation in your sense, which I think is not even 20%, even less than 20%. The rest is, I think, hard work, persistence, and sort of keeping at it. And of course, unlike other if a doctor goes to someone's house for dinner, they will not tell them, I'm feeling sick. Do you mind going to the other room and doing a small operation? But when you see a musician
it depends on the kind of doctor you are, and depends on where you're going. They can ask you anything.
But us as musicians, when we go to a social place, one of the first things people say, "Oh, so we're gonna have some music tonight," which is fine between musicians, but that's a profession, and you have to deal with it with not with your ego, but also with the way of communication. That okay, fine, that's fine, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm actually here to hang out. So that's what I've been doing for the last 20 hours, and I'm here to chill and just have a drink or have a chat. So these sort of things, adjusting to these sort of things, have to come from a very young age. That's my second point. To be able to deal with industry, non-industry people who think you're musicians, so it's your duty to entertain people. No, it's not my duty. I do it as a job. I love it. I do it for myself. And when I do it for others, I do it for remuneration. I do it for a fee, and that's how I survive. That's how I pay for my child's school. So it's not to be taken lightly. And number three, I think it's awareness, to be in the present. To be in the present and be connected with world politics, with local politics, with world philosophy, local philosophy. So not to be out of place. I don't mean you have to be political to be a musician, but to be aware of what is going around you and to be relevant. So it's not about, it's being honest and being relevant. So I think that, which is very important, if something is going on nationally and you are live, you're singing about something completely different in the other part of the world, you are not relevant. So it's very important that, you know, you have your 10 songs that you have in your song list, but outside of that, you have the world, you're a human being first. So you know God coming down from, from the heavens, that you don't have to be bothered about what's happening around you. So I think it's very important to be humans first, good human first, then good musicians. Yeah. So being relevant, being persistent, and also having the patience to sort of deal with a lot of nonsense that people don't do intentionally. So I don't want to blame people, because, you know, they love you and that's why they want to listen to you. So, but there's a way of dealing with it. So these are the three things I think on a very generic basis. You know, I could go on for hours talking about that. Okay, this is helping and that is not helping. But to sum it up in a very basic 3-point thing, that's my 2 cents on the subject. Saying that, Shallum, the fact that you're giving me the mic and all of us musicians are blamed that, you know, once we get the mic, we don't want to let it go. So I will carry on the tradition, and I'll sing 2 lines also for all the people who are here listening to us, from Bangladesh, Pakistan, and the rest of the world. You know, we're going through a very difficult time in Bangladesh, where there's a lot of, it's a patriarchal society, and there has been a lot of rape situations which has been going on in Bangladesh. So, and this is an awareness, you know, you don't need to tell the women, it's what you need to tell the guys, okay? That, you know, absolutely, you gotta take your stuff, you know, in your pocket, and you know, you keep it there, and that's not. So I just want to, refer to that, pay my respect to all the women who are doing the protests in Bangladesh right now, in Shahabag, in Gulshan too. It's been going on for a while. Again, I want to refer to one Lalon Fakir song, and where he mentions the source of energy is of the world is the mother's womb, and from where where we have sort of arrived here. So why the confusion? You know, 150 years ago, Lalon Fakir realized this. He was a feminist while he was writing this 150 years ago. And it's a shame that, 150 years later, we're still talking about the same thing. We're still talking about this unfortunate problem, and we cannot keep it in our pants. So, just this is something I'm ashamed sometimes that I call myself a male, because my colleagues, my friends, not literally, but from the men community, as I say, are doing shit that is not acceptable, and that makes us look bad and makes us look terrible. So anyway, a lot of talking. I'll go into Nigum bichare shotto tai gelo jana, shotto tai gelo jana, maire bhojile hoy tar babar ঠিকানা. So when you pay your respect to the mother, you finally understand, because only she knows who your father is. There's no other person in the world who can define who your father is without your mother. Nigum khobor nahi jene ke bashe mayer chene. Nigum khobor nahi jene ke bashe mayer chene. যার উপরে দুনিয়ার ভার, যার উপরে দুনিয়ার ভার দিলেন রাব্বানা, ওভার দিলেন রাব্বানা মায়ের ভজিলে হয় তার বাবার ঠিকানা মায়ের ভজিলে হয় তার বাবার ঠিকানা ডিম্বর ভিতর কে বাছিল বাহির হইয়া কারে দেখিল ডিম্বর ভিতর কে বাছিল বাহির হইয়া কারে দেখিল লালন কয়ে ভেদ যে পেল লালন কয়ে ভেদ যে পেল খুঁজল চিনকানা ও তার ঘুচল দিন কানা মায়ের ভজিলে হয় তার বাবার ঠিকানা মায়ের ভজিলে হয় তার বাবার ঠিকানা
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your point of view. And the panelists that we have in Pakistan, Lisa and Nida, would also agree with me that this problem that you're talking about is not just in Bangladesh. We as Pakistanis are also facing the same crisis. There is a rise in rape incidents in Pakistan, and not only it's towards women, it's towards children. So, well, I just hope and pray that one day there is a very strict law and only laws can prevent, and not only laws, but implementation of laws. And obviously, overall, the mindset has to change. I would also, you were saying something, so sorry. Yeah.
Just one thing that we have been focusing here in Bangladesh, that, you know, it's not the dress or it's not the clothes of the women which leads to this sort of crisis. Mm-hmm. This is the eyes. This is the eyes who are looking through is the problem. It's not the clothes. It's not, because then little kids, women in burqa would not be going through the situation. Only Western.
Yes, if I may interrupt, I'm sorry, but exactly, I would like to add with Labik, as he was saying, we need to stop victim blaming and shaming, both. This needs to stop. And I think the best way to do this is also that men raise their voices. I always ask my male friends to raise their voices. It's not, every time there is a rape incident in our country, it's us women who are always screaming, you know, being very vocal on social media. But I would always request, you know, our friends, male friends, my husband, my cousins, everybody to, you know, raise their voices as well. So thanks. That's all I wanted to add.
You're making a very valid point. And like I said a little while ago, this horrific crime, this menace has also affected Pakistan, especially in the last 3-4 years. And it's actually a wide debate. It can go on for not hours, but years. It's also because of the mindset, segregation, society, taboos. I would like to bring in Nida Hussain, who is now in Karachi from a Western country, city like New York, which is diverse, cosmopolitan, with Western values. How is she coping up with this strange subcontinental mindset in terms of her career development, not only as a singer, but an actress who is on her own in a city like Karachi? So what motivates her? What drives her? What protects her? What are her goals? How does she wake up every morning and, you know, push herself that she wants to do this in a society which unfortunately is not going the way that we all desire it to go, but it's going in a completely different direction. So Nida, we would like to have your point of view on all of this, including your music career.
This is actually a very interesting thing for me, because it's something that it's a battle that I'm constantly fighting with myself. That is it worth it? I think it's with anybody who's a musician, always goes back and forth. Like, should I be doing this? Should I go get a real job? You know what I mean? Like that always happens to me. But my biggest thing is that since I've been doing this for about like, I would say 4 or 5 years, even in New York, I was doing it. It just felt incomplete to me. And I just felt like what I'm looking for is in Pakistan. So that's been my main motivator, like being here, because I feel like I'm getting the fruit for my patience career-wise. But it is very difficult knowing that it's the country where anything can happen and the law is not really that great. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but it's not, I don't feel like I can just pick up my phone and call 911 if something happens. I always feel like I'm going to call a friend, or I have a taser. Like, you know, like I shouldn't feel like that, but that's how I feel. So, but I will say that it's not all bad. So far, I've been here for 1.5 years and I've had a lovely experience. That's been me. Alhamdulillah, I've had a lovely experience so far. I've met a lot of helpful people. I've met some really great people. Haven't really had any incidents happen like around me, but I've heard of many incidents. So, you know, there's good and bad people everywhere. And I think that's just been my main push, that, you know, don't let something like this stop you from living your life and stop you from pursuing your career and stop you from chasing that thing that's calling for you. I think the only thing that we can do is just raise our voices and just make sure that we protect ourselves. I just try to make sure that, you know, I have something, like I have somebody with me when I'm going out alone. I try not to stay out too late. And it sucks that I have to feel that way, but so far that we do have to protect ourselves. Like, I wish I could just tell all the men of the world, hey, don't come near me, don't touch me. I will go out at 3 a.m. Just, you don't leave your house. But I can't, unfortunately. So it's just one of those things, you know, and I'm happy to be here fighting with the women here. I'm happy to hear people's stories. I'm happy to just experience all of this and hopefully be part of the change, because I do feel like there is a change that's coming and I'm happy to be part of it and witness it. So that, I think that's pretty much it. Like, just taking it day by day and just seeing what happens.
So I know what the change is. The change is getting yourself a taser and a pepper spray whenever you go out.
Yeah.
That's the one thing.
Yes, but I do think that we are somewhat creating some sort of, you know, like now that we're talking about it more, people are going to think a little bit about their actions. They might not necessarily stop what they're doing, but they might think once about it. So I think with time, hopefully things will change. I don't think we can ever really change people. The only thing we can do is we can add a curriculum in school where we can raise awareness in children. Hopefully the next following generations will be more alert and aware and
taking from your point of view, I would also like to include Lisa, who is an upcoming singer. How do you motivate yourself every day despite the circumstances around you? How would you like to plan your career and how would you like to build up upon it? What do you see for yourself in the future and how do you plan on pursuing it?
Sir, actually living here in Karachi, living here in Karachi with this situation going on, it's very difficult to like achieve easily, achieve whatever our goals is, to achieve them easily, because you know, we have a parents.
So sorry to interrupt. What are your goals as an upcoming young singer? What are your goals? What do you want to see yourself doing in another 2 years? Where do you see yourself?
Actually, I want to become a rock star. I want to see, yes sir, because
there
learning
are
guitar
aspects related to a rock star than just music. Remember that.
Yes sir.
It's the rock and roll lifespan.
Yes sir, but the thing is, whenever we set a goal, there are certain situations going around us, family, you know, we don't live lively over here. We are not as much independent as we should be because of the situations around. And you know, our parents also, they also think of us and they don't let us do things independently because of the situations around. So yes, I have my goals, whatever I want to be, but there are certain obstacles that arises in between. Then being a Christian girl also, living in a Muslim country, there is also some problems that arises related to religious issues also. So yes, I have set my goals, and I always try to persuade it, but there are with the obstacles, but I think it would take time.
Everything takes time. Everything takes time.
Yeah.
And please, as I would like to call myself a senior musician, I really don't want to do that, but yes, I am more senior than you are. So keep at it. I just kept on doing what I'm doing, and I hopefully will
Yes,
till
sir.
I go down 6, 7, 4, 5, depending on the space I get under. So just keep on doing what you're doing. And by the way, I come from a similar background. These
Yes,
things
sir.
should not stop you. As you can see,
Yes.
Pakistan has given me a lot of opportunities, and I'm so blessed. So not let that mindset never bother you. And I'm here an example in front of you. Let me
Yes,
get a
sir.
man's perspective, a man's perspective, Mr. Anselm Fernandes, on how a musician would like to pursue his or her career from the point they are at present. Where do you see yourself? What are the complications? And how do you want to face those complications and move forward? Your microphone, Anselm, yeah.
In the
Yeah,
meantime, I
well,
would like to say goodbye because I have to
Yeah,
leave.
thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so
All the
much.
best to you and your husband, and we hope
Thank you.
we pray that your daughter recovers soon.
Thank you
And
so much.
inshallah, one day we can make music together.
Of course, of course. All right, it was
hopefully.
really, really nice talking to all of you. Bye-bye.
All the
Likewise.
best.
Bye.
Bye bye.
All right, Mr. Fernandes.
All right. Yep. Answer. Yes. So basically, the music that I do is more for Western culture, which at present in Pakistan is more, it's not really given that much of importance on a bigger scale, because definitely it's a culture that matters out here. Sadly, that's something which is a drawback for Western music out here. But every now and then, each one of us, we try to get in the Western culture as much as we can, be it private gigs, like I said, the community events that we have, where we try to promote the music of the yesteryears. And my basic aim is to actually try my level best to get as much as I can the Western culture, be it classical, be it rock, be it pop, whatever, all any genre. I try my level best to promote it as much as I can, even though I face a lot of drawbacks in between. I face a lot of barriers in between, knowing that like why Anselm, why are you doing music as such? Actually, the music that I actually I grew up to. I listening to my dad, listening to music as such. I always wanted as a singer. I always wanted to actually sing that out to the people out here. We have a lot of people out here who actually like to listen to the Western culture music as well. So yes, I am. The main thing is patience. For me, it's patience. For me, it's focus, and for me, it's determination. And fate. We don't really know what fate has stored for us, but losing fate is something which is a big no, for me. Even though I may be I may be bald at a time where I might not get to do that music, but losing out on faith is something which I don't count on, and I try my level best to keep up with doing my best as much as I can, be it the community church events or for the private gigs that I play for. And yes, of course, I try to do as much as I can.
So keep moving forward, never lose hope, keep the faith, believe in yourself, and keep moving forward despite the circumstances around you. And that's a battle, by the way, that musicians all over the world face. It's not just the subcontinent. Nida, coming from New York, would tell you better that musicians coming up from any part of the world are fighting against the tide anywhere. So you have to just have this extra energy in you to fight that battle and keep on doing what you really want to do. I would like to add Mr. Akash. Akash means the sky, if I'm not mistaken. And Akash.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to say something to Lisa when it comes to feeling like we don't belong in the community. I also can relate to that, even if I am of the religion, the expected religion and stuff, but I'm not from Karachi. I was not.
Yeah.
That the girls and the boys that have been here since birth, they've been doing this for years and years. I'm just a year ago. So they're all like, who's this? Like, why?
Yeah.
For me, it's like just as difficult. So
Yeah.
I think it's not so much our background, but it's the fact that we're just somebody different. Someone that they're just like, oh, who's this? But then
Yeah.
we have to just fight our way through. So
Yeah,
that's
what we have to do. Thank you.
You girls should exchange numbers and hang out together.
Yes, sir, we will.
And whenever you do that, call me. I'll come.
I'm so down. Let's do it.
Yes, sir, let's do it.
Let's move out to Mr. Sky Asman. Are you there?
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Akash, Mr. Akash.
Yeah.
Mr. Akash,
Hello.
as a singer, as a songwriter from Bangladesh, I've been to Bangladesh. I've played a few concerts there. I was there a few years ago, and then I've made some friends and did a few collaborations. So I know a bit about the music culture, not entirely in detail like you and Labik. But as a singer who is trying to pursue a career of music and trying to do this for as long as he or she can, how do you manage to develop your career? What are the paths that you would follow? And how do you motivate yourself every day? What do you drink?
I've missed the last question. Just you please repeat again the last question.
No, the last was not important. What kind of tea do you drink every day?
Okay, I just want to say that I don't think that beyond anything, you have to love music. You have to love music, and I love music, and music make my way. Music make my way, and music is hello.
Where did everybody go?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hello,
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't know what happened where everyone just disappeared.
What's the problem?
All right, I think you can.
I don't.
All here.
There
Hello.
he is.
We're all here. We're all here with you under the sky, under Akash.
Hello.
Akash, you have some internet thing happening with you.
I'm okay, but I don't see anyone. Don't know what's the problem.
We can all hear you. You can continue what you were saying.
Okay. And I told that music create the way of my musical life, and I love to think everything musically. And Mr. Xavier, do you believe that I believe that miracle was suddenly occur with the Mia Tansen, that he played sitar and the rain was going on, and I believe that heartfully with my belief, and I love to think that music is a miracle and it make my way.
Absolutely correct. You are so correct, and we believe in that. And I'm so glad that you have this mindset because, you know, when I play the guitar with all my heart in Karachi, Karachi becomes hot. There's heat and we're all sweating and melting. So I actually truly believe that I'm doing something wrong. If I would had the talent of Tansen, I would make the rain fall upon the city of Karachi. But yes, it's true. It's true. The art and the music ability and your passion, your desire, your intentions matter.
Yeah.
Which means that musicians, and Labik agree with me, that musicians with the passage of time become philosophers, free thinkers, and some of them, like Labik, become saints.
I would like to add 2 cents here again. You know, for me, there's a performer, which is a vocalist or a guitarist or a instrument player. And then there's the artist, regardless of what instrument they play or what they're singing. So with the artist comes the philosophy. With the artist comes the vision. With the artist comes, you know, your patience. And with the artist, you lose your ego. So, you know, you can be, so that's how I differentiate between an artist and a performer or a singer. So I think, you know, for those of us who want to do music, not for the fame only, of course, fame is nice and, you know, money is nice. But who would like to do it, you know, for the love of it, for the passion of it. I think the goal should not be the number of views that I get on my videos, but if I am being considered as an artist by my peers, if I am being considered as an artist by my audience, so then you're not just singing, you're expressing. So there's a difference. So yes, that's my 2 cents again.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Well, first of all, let me thank you for sharing your art, sharing your voices, Labik, sharing your voice and your instrument, and all your experience, your thoughts, your point of view. I would also like to thank Mr. Akash for his deeply connected, emotional ability to connect with music like all of us. And may God bless you and may you further pursue this in the most proficient and the most amazing way possible. I would also like to thank Mr. Anselm Fernandes for sharing his point of view, his voice, and obviously telling us that there are more genres in the subcontinent that people need to listen to or you know, understand. Ms. Nida Hussain from the city of Karachi, but originally from NYC, for sharing her point of view, her time, and also her wisdom. We wish you all the best. Karachi is an extremely dynamic city. A lot can happen, a lot has happened, and a lot will happen. Miss Lisa Kim Candarra, believe in yourself. Doesn't matter where you come from, but matters where you're going. All right? So these thoughts should not stop you. I don't think so. It's important at all. And last but not least, Sumaira Sultan, for being with us throughout with her amazing talent. Thank you so much. And if you want, you can also talk, because you can. And then we also would like to thank Alif, who's just left us because her daughter is not feeling well. And all the participants from Bangladesh and from Pakistan who previously were with us joining us this creative discussion. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey. This is just the beginning for many more ventures, collaborations to come in the future. We would like to thank British Council, Arts Council of Birmingham, England, Transforming Narratives, and each and every person who made time to get involved so that we can start this journey as a platform to do many more collaborations in the future, if I'm correct, Mr. Labik.
Shallum, if I may add, as I understand, we are closing today's discussion and towards the end of today's discussion. So I started the show with a small song dedicated to you. You meaning, you know, your friends and everyone, your team who's here, Wakas and all the people who are working behind this wonderful project. So as I said, you know, আর কি হবে মানব জনম বসবো সাধু মিলে, which is, will I be born again, that I will have the blessing to get to meet you again. to see you again and experience your music. So I hope
you just have to send me an invitation, and I'll get a visa and come to Dhaka.
So I want to end today's dialogue thanking all the people from British Council, Arts Council England, and your whole team who has been fantastically enthusiastic and energetic in pulling off this long 1 month project that we've been a part of. We'll be finishing off with a banging track from which is produced by Shallum, and we've sort of participated and put our bits on it. So please look out, whoever's listening. And there's a banging track coming up where we've tried to do our part. So that I don't want to say too much about it. Shallum's produced it, so it's got to be something.
Well, we're doing it together. It's a song and a music video.
So thank you, everyone. I want to thank Akash for being part of and coming here from my Bangladesh part, and of course Alif, who's just left. Sumaira, thank you, for the whole process, and supporting us with your sign languages. Lisa, I hope you become a rock star and we get to press some likes and love emoticons on your YouTube channel. Nida, fantastic singing, loved your voice. Hope you have a wonderful career. Anselm, lovely to meet you, my friend. And I know
likewise.
I have friends in Bangladesh who are sort of going through the same thing of, it's a cultural thing where, you love your Western music, but there's not an enough audience for it. But saying that, the world has opened up. So you can build your audience online, and, you can keep at it by posting stuff regularly, not just covers, but your original stuff and collaborations and stuff. I really hope you continue. Shallum, I have no words to thank you. It's just been an honor, a pleasure. I've heard you on CDs. I've heard you on from the days of CDs before all these MP3s and all of that stuff was there. And
I am from the days of the CDs.
No, you're from the time we're from the time of cassettes. So not just CDs. So I'm sure you've had material out on a cassette as well. So and which my daughter has never seen. I asked her what a cassette is, and she couldn't say. So that's something. Anyway, all the who are here, it's been a pleasure being a part of Safar Suroon Ka. And it's given me an opportunity to learn so much. And in music, that's the only way forward. Break the boundaries, break the rules, and get together and explore each other's soul, not just music. So I hope this is the start of a new era for us, new journey for us. There has been difficult times between Bangladesh and Pakistan historically. And we are looking at it from an arts perspective here, not a political perspective. And we're bonding over music. And we're keeping the politics aside. And I hope the audience will get that sharing and love from both Bangladesh and Pakistan. And I hope that we can continue this. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. Good night. God bless you. See you soon. And let's collaborate again. And the people who are participating in the song, let's record so that we can put this out as soon as possible. Thank you so much, Labik. Thank you, everyone. Once again, thank you, Waqas and his team at Silent Tour Production for all the communication and all the digital collaboration. British Council, Arts Council of England, Transforming Narratives. Goodbye, good night. God bless you all.
Bye.
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 Bye. Take care.
Hello. Bye. Thank you. Thank you.